Hey everybody, it's Risley. I actually just started the video and already started a round, but then I had a little bit of sounds in the background, so we're both going again, but it's still turn 1 and I haven't touched anything. So it's basically the same thing. And honestly, the start that we've got here is pretty underwhelming. I realize the only real purpose of the magpie is to, like, allow animals that are specifically benefited by having more money per turn. Like that one, I think it might be an antelope or something, which gets stats per extra money that you had at the end of each turn. But I feel like because this is the weekly and it's mixing with animals from other packs and not just the one specifically that is more revolving around like money and things, it's not as useful this week or with its own pack. The Marmoset I like, even though I feel like its ability, the whole like selling to get extra rolls, isn't that great. I just have like such a strong thing for 2/3s. 2/3s just always feel like they're so powerful for me. No, that chop really said, well, you get the cricket or you get the magpie. Those were the only choices you got, okay? Okay, and we will be the ordinary eggplants. There's good eggplants and there's basics. We just be basic today, kids. Alright, and I feel like, of course, the moth always gets at least a 1-for-1. The cricket is honestly a bit iffy for me. It's possible for it to get something good and just to spawn at the end there. Maybe the first round cricket really belongs at the back of your team. That might be just its time to shine. It's just always being basically an instant B, but with cruddy stats. I mean, cruddy stats can definitely do it at the beginning of the game. They can kill a moth. Like, a moth can kill anything else, so in the end of the day... Oh, not enough money there. So we've got 1 snipe, 2 moths. Honestly, at the beginning of the game, the more moths you have is honestly the negative. Because when it actually gets to their turn to fight, they're really not strong, they're not very good. And they all... You only need 1 moth's worth of special ability to get your frontline units to actually kill something. So in terms of power, minimal. Not a great start. But we'll get there, we'll get there. We just need a few more people who actually rely on stats. We could do this, pug, so we get double moth. At least it means that we're not running double moth, which is less likely to be killed. And the pug stats are actually pretty good. A 5-2? That's pretty radical, honestly. The gazelle. Gain +1/+1 until the end of battle for extra gold. Yeah, so basically the gazelle plus the magpie I see as being like a combination. And I guess because the magpie stats are actually okay, it's like 1 attack, 4 health, then I can see how that could actually be kind of good for the beginning of the game. It just feels like it would probably fall off in terms of effectiveness pretty quickly, and then you have to do like an entire team's worth of switching out, like possibly all at once, in order for everything not to just become like completely useless, you know? Okay, well I guess I can respect the badger up front, you know? It takes some real kahunas to put your badger up there and sacrifice your own self. I feel like there's gotta be teams that makes sense. I wonder if you were doing like a llama squad. With a llama, you know, you have to have 1 spot open anyway. If it makes sense to have a team with a badger up front if your 1 empty spot is the second in line. I'm not actually sure if the animals will scoot forward before or after, like if they all scoot forward to be aligned at the beginning of the round, therefore your badger would hit someone, or if you could actually strategically do badger plus llama in order to get a free spot so no one actually gets hurt by the badger. If it works that way, that's some pretty stratty strats. So, the spider. That's a sneaky thing, you know, it'll show you your shot from last round before it switches at the beginning, and I really wanted that spider over this cricket. Woodpecker is okay, osprey is okay. We've been talking about the badger. I mean, there are croissants, which seems to be like one of the only things that's actually, like any stat gain and food items. We've got pretty naked in terms of food items this week. Oh, I was about to say I should have saved that pineapple for my guy. And honestly, the game said, we'll give it back to you. And all these marmosets, of course, I could save them and try and go for a level 3 marmoset, but then you would have to ask me why? Why would you do that? Does your level 3 marmoset, besides having okay stats for a little while, you know, is there utility in there? Is there function in there? And I would say to you, not really, I just think he's kind of cute. He looks kind of like an old man. He looks like Albert Einstein with his little hair puffs coming out of his face. And I wouldn't be wrong for saying that, you know, but we're here to win today, you know? Sometimes I play the game and all I want to do is get the cutest animals. It's a classic way to play games, very classic in Pokemon. We're not here to get the strongest animals, we're just here to be adorable. So I still want the pineapple. And this guy is actually okay, Cuttlefish. Instinctively, my brain still says that I'm kind of neutral to him, just by lieu of the fact that his weakness, which is what I assumed it was, like a weakness but better, isn't actually full-on weakness. He's a little bit of a sneaky guy in that sense, you know? It's not really what you think it is. I thought it was just like a fourth animal that is variant on when or how they give a weakness in battle. Woodpecker's doing pretty good. I think he's still probably the star of the show. If any of my units had any health, we might actually be able to win something. Sadly, we're losing to French Swan Squad. I don't think we're really, I mean, I guess we're holding up to our ordinary eggplants title. We're pretty ordinary. I wouldn't say we're doing too horribly, but I wouldn't say we're doing very great either. But what could I switch out for this cuttlefish? I guess we actually aren't really doing anything with this marmoset anyway. It was purely here just to, like, exist, I guess. This guy's giving 2. We can actually use him to level someone. I believe how the system works is that the unit with the higher attack goes first in terms of special abilities at the start of battle, so this should actually trigger before our woodpecker does and therefore qualify. You've needed a croissant for like a year now. Wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, and we've already got a level 2 cuttlefish. Ooh, advanced. Every team needs a little bit of ocean, you know? I feel like we're covering all our grounds. We've got a bird. And it's a woodpecker, which, although he looks very sturdy on his feet, I believe he can actually fly. So we've got flight, we've got a bunch of land animals, we've got a sea animal, we're doing the whole squad. Sadly, our ability to fly doesn't necessarily mean that we win rounds, but looky here. Mr. Badger didn't even have to use his implosion ability. Could go squirrels, which is still a fun concept, although it is continuing to not actually give as much as you would hope. There's just not enough food to buy, you know? You can't survive off just salads, you know? I need protein, I need chocolate and sugar and stats, not just a salad. I do want to run a lynx. Is it better than a moth? An 8-3 moth, which is essentially turning this guy into a killer. I feel like the concept of possibly being able to kill some units before the fight even starts is more— I should have saved the pineapple for the lynx. Why didn't you tell me? Sitting there watching this and he didn't even warn me. Come on now. I thought we were friends. I thought we were in this as a team. But man, I mean, they don't really have any spicy foods in the game, you know? I've been thinking about recently that I have the most bland tongue in terms of like what I think is tasty. Like, I feel like salt is something— I have a weakness to salt. I feel like it's too strong in many instances, which is something that's kind of really lame to be saying. Like, even salt feels too spicy for me sometimes. And one of my friends was insisting that— I was trying to explain the fact, right, that something can be so spicy that it hurts. And they were saying that that was ridiculous and implying that I was trying to say that, like, spice isn't a flavor, like spice— because I basically said that spice only feels like burning sometimes. And I know that it does have actual flavor, and it can be good if it's in a good quantity. The problem is just that there is a certain extent in which if you have spice, the sense of burning, if you're not used to it, can be so large that it detracts from the flavor of the food, you know? Where it's kind of like, oof, all I'm sensing here is the pain. All this is tasting like is pain. And they were arguing that's not true, that it's always a flavor, and I'm like, alright. Well, it seems similar to, like, when I want to drink something that maybe has a little bit of alcohol in it. I think that the taste of alcohol is really disgusting, super nasty, bleh, don't love it much. But if I were to have some, the easiest way for me to intake that is actually via like a carbonated thing, just because I'm not used to drinking carbonated beverages so much. So when I do drink one, because I'm so unused to that, it like creates this like really sharp burning feeling in my throat, which I really feel like is something that just you get over as you drink soda, as you like it, you know, you get used to it, and maybe your throat just gets less sensitive to how burning like carbonation is. But anyway, because the carbonated like, alcoholic beverages kind of hurt a little bit, like that's what they feel like to me, it distracts from the flavor of the alcohol. So if I wanted to have some just to like hang out with people, that's the easiest way for me to, you know, drink it, is just to kind of cover it up. And I feel like that's that same kind of concept applies to spicy foods, you know? If a food is spicy, sometimes the heat can be so hot that it distracts you from whatever else, you know? It can distract you from the flavor. Isn't that sad? Which is why it's important. Just making your food super spicy is not always the right thing to do, you know? There is a balance. There is a perfect area. There is a perfect world in there somewhere. And we finally got carrots now. Oh, I guess that is one benefit of this game, like, the new health system definitely makes games go a bit longer, you get further in the turns. It's probably gonna make it a lot easier for people to get the achievements for getting level 3s, and probably winning with level 3s too, but mostly just getting to them. Because there's a lot more, I feel like we're getting to, like, the late stages, level 3s, a lot more people on my team are 2 or 3 by, like, the near end stages, and that is, making it easier to get the achievements. You could have this, although honestly I would like to replace that. I mean, we've got this pug. He's got 17 attack, which is a lot of attack. He's got no health. Would it be better to actually just tiger up my boar? My boar doesn't actually have any stats. I don't have any stat gaining. Oh, and you definitely should not be back here. I guess squid up front, double boar. The lynx is doing squad. He squad goes by himself, and he gets it's like a weird sort of connection. The lynx, because it's revolving around how many levels everyone in your team has, gets better as the game goes on because you have more levels. And if this new health system is making the game go on even longer, so more of your pets have even more chance to level up. The lynx is like, yes, this was my kind of update. It's vaguely related to me, but it's still my kind of update. They've still got their level 3 mosquito. I was about to laugh at that because I was like, huh, you can't learn to let go. I'm still using a mosquito when I have a lynx, and yet that mosquito wrecked my entire team. Well, it just goes to show, you know? You can't always, there's no straight maneuver, you know? There's not just one direct way to get there. You don't have to abandon your squad if your squad's carrying you well. A propeller hat? That's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. We're gonna be like Googlers. I think it's like Google, and when you become a new employee, there was that period of time where they made them wear like a propeller hat, and you were called like a noogler or something? Like a new Googler? It's a weird word. Oh, but we're wearing little backwards baby hats. Okay, so none of these units inspire me much. Artistically, I would say I'm about as equally inspired as I used to be. We'll run a pill bug. Man, this happened in my last first shop too. They gave me like... These are the same animals that were just here. I guess we're just gonna make a really strong hamster. And we're going to be the Super Auto Mushrooms. I feel like that's the upcoming spin-off game of Super Auto Pets. Once they run out of packs, they're gonna make the exact same game, except all of the animals will be plants. For the plant lovers out there, for the herbivores who can't bear to look at these animals fighting. Classic knockoff, sort of like Pokemon, you know? Where people used to make knockoffs of the horrors of making these animals fight. What are we doing to these animals? Are we contributing to something here? Do we really want these super animals to fight automatically? Who's to say? Ooh, jungle to jungle. Oh, there's like a little scene going down right here. I don't know if you could see it, but it's like little light. I wonder if it was difficult to get the two matching sides to actually like queue up. It looks like they probably actually just drew one big jungle. Yeah, I cut it in half because my little tree, he's got the big tree. It's just the regular background that we get in the shop. Although actually, now that I say that, this shop background is also longer. I wonder how long, like, the longest backgrounds had to be if they were adjusting, like, all of them to be super more than they needed at any given time. Okay, so we're basically going super health, which there is a thing to be said that you should level your pill bug even if you're not ready to get, like, the next level super pet to start up your team. Just because its ability of getting people behind it health definitely gets better as you go. And in that place, I probably should put the mosquito there, because if any one of the chinchilla, the marmoset, and the mosquito is gonna stay, it'd be the mosquito. Because at least he functions as being like anti-melon technology. The marmoset and the chinchilla do literally nothing unless you sell them, so very useless in terms of anything to bring along to the late game. Oh, they're running a magpie. Oh, copy. You would think that because the magpie is money related and the Okapi is role related, that was some sort of a synergy, but I'm pretty sure it's not. We are on turn 4 and we have... I think we lost one, but we got our health back. We have made no ground in the game itself so far. Because you know what? Mosquito, you didn't really get much anyway. Let's get this guy in here. He failed us last round, but if we can get a croissant in here, I think that we can make something work. I do want this duck. I guess I'll level. Again, feels like a little bit of a waste. Maybe we'll find something that summons, and the musk off, it really feels like I guess I could still get a bird if I did this. Yeah, whatever. His stats aren't that cool anyway. Boom. Yeah, but the Muskdock is only as good as, like, 2 triggers. Like, what can you max out in terms of something summoning in front of you? The unit dies, it has a bee, it dies. That's about as far as it goes, unless someone gives you super bees if something is dying in front of you. So it really just feels like it's a unit that had okay stats, and it could get 2 more additional stats, which is honestly not that very much. Double Magpie all the way across the sky. We don't need that, we're grounded right now, Magpie, you are not necessary. Why did I keep the Marmoset as the next person who should get the health from this guy? I don't know. He's obviously not staying, so that was probably not super worth. Badger still needs a croissant. Badger still needs a friend. And nothing else that we can get here right now. I'm really just going all in on this Badger. None of my other units actually do anything right now. In terms of a good team, we have none. I mean, we've got a very similar color palette going on. We've got like grays and blues, a little bit of white in the middle. They're running sort of the same vibe. If color palettes made any difference... Oh, well, we drew, so it helped a little bit. If we had a snow background or something that actually meshed with my brown, maybe that could have been more helpful. Now, I don't know why he has an extra tick. Did I do 2 levels and I gave up on it? That's probably what happened. Cuttlefish is certainly better than both Pillbug and Marmoset. Currently, the Pillbug is actually doing decent, even though it's not been, like, upgraded by anything besides clones of itself. I don't want to upgrade the Pillbug. I will take that. Thank you, Marmoset, for your free roll. I know I was just bashing on you, but that was actually pretty useful in this turn. I just gotta get that extra money with my swan power. What am I gonna use that money for? Who's to say? What kind of hat is that? It's like a half-size sun moon hat? That's kind of cute. I wonder if that's like a job-related hat or if it's just like a random headwear that I've not seen before. Double ospreys. Okay, well we have some summoners. And the things that they summon do not summon more things, so it's not especially great in front of the Muskox, but maybe it's better than Pillbug. We'll run a little synergy, just for a second. Swallow the leftmost shot pet and release it as a level 1 after fainting. Okay, I can actually see how White Whale and Muskox can work off each other a little bit, because if you have this guy summon that guy, then you have 1, 2, plus Groundhog, you get 3 deaths off that. But not a B, you can't add a B to that, so that's 3. At least it would max it out in terms of stats. Bring it up to pretty good for where we're at, but honestly my best unit right now is running a Badger, which because it's at the back of my squad, you know, it's not as useful as other people's aces who are up front and are able to get through with someone's entire team, you know? Oh, good. That weakness really saved me there. Weakness, I guess, is even more important. They'll, like, do 3 less damage. You would think that wouldn't be that useful. Do we want to try this? I mean, we're already halfway to this guy by himself. Eats food, swallow left. I guess so. We might accidentally do some weird stuff with this, but I guess if we upgrade our ox, this could be useful. Eat a salad. Darn it. She's not doing nothing though, she eats something, so I guess we have to get something on there. It doesn't really matter what she swallows at that point. As long as it's not like a badger or something. Okay, now we've switched up our color palette. We're doing purple, white, purple, brown. By brown I mean gray, of course. Eat it. Nope. Dogs are illegal. That dog doesn't count. Boo. If you kill all the enemy before that dog gets in there, I think that it shouldn't count. Your last unit has to be living in order for that golden retriever to save something. Otherwise, he's facing the enemy with no reward. There's no point in him jumping out there. Okay, I could have them eat a spider. But what do I get rid of to get this poodle, which I would also like? 3-3. The badger versus the muskox. I guess we can skip on that right now, just because I want to try making this work. Alright, so she's got that now. It just seems hard, because I know that the white whale is sort of... It's made to, like, enable things like the muskox, I would assume. But then you can't feed it after that, because it eats stats itself, right? You need to be able to raise this thing's stats, too. So she has a spider, we've got another spider, said that it does not do anything for us. hopefully we can get an animal that's better than a spider and we can exchange it for that. At least if it's got to eat some food. Just feels like I have to be like double prepared in order to try and scale this whale. Wow, they fell out of the sky. There was like a little sound of like skittering spiders. So creepy. So spooky. And we're gonna win this one. Not strong enough, are ya? Not strong enough. You got a little ink on your face and it's covering your ability to fight me. Boom. A monkey. That's the thing, you know, like 2-3 permanently, or one other instance of 2-4. This is just innately better than whatever this thing is enabling, even if his stats are poopy. You have to get out of the way. Cuttlefish doesn't need to be up front, but it's not beneficial for the musk ox to be behind anything. Unless we just put a B on the monkey. If we get to popcorn, we could just throw a popcorn on that monkey. And at least he'll get 2 triggers with the possibility of something better. Who knows what the popcorn will reveal in this world. Going for strong cuttlefish. Classic combination. Classic combination as of a few days ago when this pack first came out and started being utilized. But since then, it's been a real classic. Alright, not feeling so good about this right now. Boom, boom, death. 6-8. How many hearts did we have? Let's take a little bit of a thing. We had 3 whole hearts, yeah, see? I mean, like, I'm trying to be exuding confidence at this moment in time, but I don't feel too strong, but we're still doing pretty alright despite that fact. Super cuttlefish, super fish. Super muxox. A snake. I have said before that using a snake is just simply too powerful. But I guess we could exchange our swan for it. Put it behind the musk ox. Man, it's really hard to say its name. Is that more useful to us than the possibility of additional scaling that the swan is offering? I feel like it honestly might be. I am considering it. I'll keep both of these frozen just because I really feel like that might be the way to go. Alright. Can your turtle technology defeat my cuttlefish technology? Survey says probably. Survey says absolutely. Not even a question. What are you thinking about? I'd say, well, I'm not thinking about much. That's the problem, isn't it? There's not enough happening in my brain. Let's see if this can help us out in the future. This transition needs to make the world. Ideally, he would actually have a melon armor, but at least for one more turn, him pooping something out will give the snake a little bit of extra. Not sure if honestly the best setup that we have right now should be this, or if it would be better to move the monkey back and just try and replace this carrot with something that spawns for a muxox, but let's see. What's with the badgers in the mid space? So many people are running that. I guess if you're gonna go monkey either way, it's like, it's just worth it. And so was our snake. Our snake was just worth it. We've got a lot of ground to cover up if we actually want to make this all end. But okay, Badger is good. Badger is finalized in terms of how great he is for us. First time reaching level 3 there. We've got a pineapple for you next turn, Snicky. Don't eat too much food. You're gonna ruin your dessert. So you guys just have to prove that you're cool with living. Because that's a lot of snipes. I have no idea how they, with a double tiger situation on that woodpecker, did not kill my monkey somehow. I don't think my monkey has any stats, so they were really running with nothing, I guess. Boom, kills me. Doesn't matter, I'm a bee. Joke's on you, I was secretly 15 bees in a muskox suit the entire time. Okay, so it could be a super cuttlefish. A very energetic snake. And nothing. I suppose I could replace my badger's croissant with a carrot. At this point, I feel like stat gains are probably out the window. Honestly, yeah, you know what? Rather than a carrot, what this badger needs is either a melon or popcorn. Because his whole concept, you know, is improved honey badger. Honey badger don't lie, well, they gotta leave something behind if they're gonna be a real honey badger. So far, this guy's just being weak. The cuttlefish is getting rid of all the foods. Foods are just less powerful nowadays, you know? The current weekly says, you know, foods aren't it. Synergies are it. Play with these new animals. Find something cool. Man, if that golden retriever had come out after me, I could have actually won a game. Wouldn't that have been cool? Just imagine it, me winning a game. Okay, we're gonna go hard for tools. We saw no tools. Definitely think we are at 6, so the chances of us rolling so many times and have yet to see another popcorn or melon, I think, in 2 turns. I don't know. Are the developers of the game stream sniping me? Me, who's recording this and not streaming it? Are they somehow hacking into my system, seeing that I'm playing this game and hiding all the foods from me? It's more likely than you think, honestly. Ooh, ostrich team. Dang, this is a strong dude. No, there's no way we victored this. A rooster, an ostrich, and a level 3? I was gonna say we were actually closer than you would think, but then chicks happened. Isn't that just horrible, you know? Everything feels like it's going just fine, and you feel like you're almost gonna reach your goal, and then suddenly, like, babies can really turn your life upside down, you know?